We're just counting down to the fifth phase of polling, and late in the evening, after her hectic campaign work, she's given us time. And let's just take the bull by the horns, Smriti Irani ji, in your bastion now, if I may say so, 2 times that you have been here, third time you want to be an MP here, and it's the thrust.
I think it's a great insult to the democratic freedom our voters exercise and are energized by calling any constituency a bastion.
All right.
One of the greatest indications that Amethi gave, especially to our democracy, is that it does not matter how charming and offensive is mounted by the first family of Indian politics, so-called. If you take voters for granted and presume that a constituency is safe, that one constituency, that being Amethi, has resoundingly said to the people, the electorate of India, that no voter shall be taken for granted.
But I wanted to say कि आपने तो अब यहाँ घर बना लिया है, so
घर बना लिया है, घर बना लिया है. That has been an emotional, social, and political need that was professed by the people of Amethi, because they suffered for 15 years due to an absentee MP. They wanted somebody they could approach easily, not only in terms of the persona, but also in terms of the geography. So this is an electoral promise that I had made in 2019, and I intended to fulfill it. I'm happy that it now stands completed.
Or is it to counter what Priyanka Vadra said कि ये तो बाहर से आई थी सिर्फ राहुल को हराने के लिए?
I think that one can get entrapped in juvenile politics or completely keep focus on issues that matter to people. I don't want to be in a slinging match where I remind people the origins, especially of the nationality or the city of birth of the erstwhile Congress president. I think it will be more productive to highlight, or if so somebody desires, do a comparative and unabashedly so between, let's say, 5 years. They called me a chit of a woman because they said कि इसकी औकात नहीं है. So जिनको लगता था कि मेरी औकात नहीं है, उस बिना औकात की साधारण परिवार की महिला सांसद ने क्या काम किया, और जिसकी औकात बहुत बड़ी है क्योंकि वो गांधी खानदान से हैं, उन्होंने 15 साल में क्या किया. If you could do a comparative, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी वहीं हो जाता है.
Is that the reason that he chose Raebareli, not coming back to Amethi?
I believe so.
And sending somebody who himself calls himself servile or knocker to the family?
It's a great insult again to democratic principles when a family that claims is democratic in nature will propagate civility. I think that one needs to recognize it is a disrespect to voters, it is a disrespect to the constitution. No constituency is a fiefdom. Hence to say that somebody who is supposed to represent the people is to be reduced to servility is not only insult to an individual but also the whole democratic process. And I think it's a reflection on the character of the person who professes that civility, or who propagates that civility, or who promotes that civility.
Is it an intended jibe at you also to say that this is what we think of you, Ms. Smriti Irani?
Doesn't matter. I never claim to be pedigreed. It is true that I have risen from genuinely the grassroots. It is true that when my parents got married, they barely had $150. It is true that when I was born, all my parents could afford was a room above at the Bela. It is true that when I was, at least I remember, up to the age of 7 or 8, my father was on a footpath selling books opposite Army Club in Dholakwa. I can't deny that part of my past and be ashamed about it. In fact, I'm proud that my parents barely had any money. My mother, being an educated woman, married outside her caste, outside her community. A Bengali Brahmin girl marries a Punjabi Khatri, that too during the emergency, was unheard of. She being a hardcore Sanghi, he being a Congress loyalist, made for many fireworks. But what I admire is that irrespective of their political differences, irrespective of the economic challenges, at least they had the strength to keep a family together, and I think the nobility of thought of telling their children that कोई भी काम छोटा नहीं होता. तो मेरे माँ बाप ने मेरे साथ, मैंने बचपन में उनके साथ गरीबी देखी, इसमें शर्म करने की कोई बात नहीं है. और अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए ये एक विषय है मेरी औकात दिखाने का, तो मैं उससे बिल्कुल ना शर्मसार होती हूँ ना दुखी होती हूँ.
One aspect is history of Amethi.
Yes.
A lot of people may not go back. It just goes back to 2004, but does not go back to what you mentioned, emergency 1977, when first time perhaps Sanjay Gandhi made his move into Amethi. Since then, the Gandhis have been involved in politics in Amethi, Raebareli. But today, I'm sitting down to speak with you, I did interact with a former MLA, a four-time MLA here, Tejbhan Singh, Gauriganj MLA. And his story is very different from what generally is perceived. There is a lot of dar along with the dil se ka rishta of the Gandhis with Amethi. Is this true?
गोरी चमड़ी से लोग बहुत फैसिनेट हो जाते हैं कई बार. लोगों के सामने करिश्मा एक बुना जाता है नैरेटिव का, और लोग कई बार उस नैरेटिव के बाहर देख नहीं पाते. आप तेजभान जी से मिले हैं तो इसका मतलब निश्चित रूप से you must have heard stories about how booths were captured.
Yes, and he says it's in the courts.
He is one of the last living people
issue,
who can actually testify to it. I'm glad that he has pointed out to court documents, because given the spin mastery of the Gandhi family, they would possibly ensure that there is no reportage on these kind of incidents about their family's direct involvement in booth capturing, in ensuing violence in Amethi. Many people in Delhi, cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, or let's say the Indian diaspora presume that this is a very genteel family with a lot of dignity. But I think that if you look in depth at the history of Amethi, you will find how gory their past is, how much muck has been hidden so that they can shine politically in the national capital.
Hidden or forgotten, because interesting, Rajiv Gandhi versus Maneka Gandhi. Tejbhan Singh says Maneka Gandhi was literally stripped, assaulted.
Yes.
Along with, of course, the entire allegation of
I
booth
do
capturing.
not in any way seek to demean the struggle of Maneka Gandhi, because what she faced was an assault by her own family, her in-laws, but still that was family. To be a young widow and to come out and make a political statement and to fight as a political opponent to Rajiv Gandhi mustn't have been an easy decision. I've never discussed it with her. To be a young widow with a very young child and then to come out to Amethi to fight in an election mustn't have been a very easy decision. And then to be assaulted by Congress goons in a so-called family bastion where her husband had left behind many memories mustn't have been easy for Maneka Gandhi. I think it was also a lesson by the Congress goons to the people of Amethi and the areas surrounding us that अगर हम ये मेनका गांधी का हश्र कर सकते हैं तो सोचो साधारण परिवार के लोगों का क्या करेंगे. So if you've heard Tejbhan Singh's stories, it's just a reflection of the kind of atmosphere that then proceeded in Amethi.
Because there was Govind Singh and also Keshav Pratap Singh, who was the election agent of Maneka Gandhi, and he was at the booth. So he's on record to say that she actually swore after the treatment that she got from her own family, she swore never to come to Amethi again.
And she hasn't come. She hasn't stepped in. And like I said, Anand, see, I'm 48. I don't know how old she was when she fought that election. But like I said, to lose your husband, to have a small child, and then to be physically assaulted in a constituency which celebrated her husband, in a constituency where she was fighting her husband's brother, must have been traumatizing for her. So I quite understand why she chose never to come back to Amethi. Like I said, again, I've never had a chat with her about it. I did invite her in the last election. She was polite. I did not know this story when I'd invited her. And after I heard about what happened to her, that's when I understood that I would not want to push. I understand the trauma she must have gone through. But what it exposes is the muck that the Gandhi family is capable of. You're not the first journalist. In fact, my compliments, you're the first journalist who's actually had the courage to do it on camera. I can tell you of two journalists, one in your network, in your Hindi channel, who is witness in the 2019 election, where a so-called Tadi Par criminal was told in Raebareli to possibly shoot at my car. That journalist, who I shall not name because he's a part of a network you're working in right now, also knew of the face of the Tadi Par, also knew which Gandhi sibling the Tadi Par met.
Which Gandhi sibling?
Never reported it. There's a senior journalist, shall name him because he's not a part of your network, Rahul Srivastav. And Rahul Srivastav, I've spoken to him on camera. I wonder whether it'll ever see the light of day. And I told him, I asked him, he was witness to one of the Gandhi siblings telling him unabashedly which member of the Congress party and a leader looted which booth in Amethi. And this is a Gandhi Parivar sibling right now who has said this to a reporter in the late 90s. Rahul Srivastav is the name of the reporter, and that reporter never reported it.
Who's the sibling? In both cases, the sibling
well,
the same?
बेटा या बेटी पीसी पीएनडीटी एक्ट में भी कहना वर्जित है. पॉलिटिकली कौन बोलेगा ये आप अपने सीनियर रिपोर्टर से पूछिए, जिसका नाम मैं आपको ऑफ कैमरा बता देती हूँ. ऑन कैमरा मैं बता रही हूँ, राहुल श्रीवास्तव नाम के सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट हैं. वो जिस नाम के एक ऑनलाइन पब्लिकेशन में या जो भी है चैनल में काम करते हैं. अब पता नहीं राहुल श्रीवास्तव जो मैंने उनको ऑन रिकॉर्ड पूछा है वो चलाएंगे कभी या नहीं चलाएंगे. बट खौफ सिर्फ वोटर में नहीं है, इनकी इतनी ताकत है कि खौफ ये जर्नलिस्ट में भी पैदा कर सकते हैं. इनके अहंकार की अगर आप बात करें, इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द एरोगेंस ऑफ पावर, go back to I think 1989, I'm subject to correction, the election Rajmohan Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's grandson, fought against Rajiv Gandhi. 89. हिंदुस्तान में एक भी अखबार का आप ऑनलाइन लिंक नहीं पाएंगे. न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स, अब उसको तो गोदी मीडिया आप कह नहीं सकते, न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स का आज भी पता नहीं इस इंटरव्यू के बाद वो लिंक उड़ जाए तो अलग बात है. न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स में ये, और इलेक्शन कमीशन में आपको इसका मिल जाएगा प्रूफ, तब राजीव जी के सानिध्य में 97 बूथ्स लूटे गए थे.
You're saying it's a New York Times report?
Yeah. No Indian newspaper today is available. Maybe they printed it, not printed it, God knows. इसलिए कह रही हूँ, खौफ सिर्फ वोटर में नहीं था. खौफ कहो या प्रलोभन कहो या सिर्फ नौकरी बचाने का डर कहो, जर्नलिस्ट में भी था, आज भी है.
पर गोदी मीडिया तो हम लोगों का
मुझे लगता है कि जो उनके कृत्यों को छुपाता नहीं वो गोदी है. बहुत ही पॉइंटेड क्वेश्चन पूछता उनके लिए वो गोदी है.
बट 2019
लेकिन आज मुझे खुशी है कि आपने जाकर क्षेत्र में लोगों का इंडिपेंडेंट इंटरव्यू लिया, खुद का अनुभव किया, और आप में इतनी हिम्मत है कि आप कैमरा पे बोल रहे हैं. पता नहीं है एडिट करके ट्रैश में डाला जाएगा, ये एयर होगा, मैं नहीं जानती.
देखिए, जो बात है वो कर रहे हैं, एंड देयर इज नथिंग टू हाइड बिकॉज इट्स ऑल ऑन रिकॉर्ड. एंड फैक्ट इज 85, 89, बट आफ्टर TN session, after the EVMs came, once you came here in 2014, you are saying in 2019 also.
I will make you recall in 2014, and this is on camera. Priyanka Vadra's secretary was in one of the booths, and she is not a native. EC prohibits outsiders to be in the area. And in fact directs individuals to leave the area 48 hours prior. What was, and this is again on record, available video, it was a very famous spat. If you YouTube it, you'll still find Smriti Irani spatting with Priyanka Vadra's assistant. The issue which people did not possibly understand then was, she was in one of the booths. थौरी नाम की जगह है, खुद कैप्चरिंग की उनको वहाँ पुरानी आदत थी. I just happened to walk in while they were trying.
With EVMs, you're
Yes,
saying
they were trying even that.
They were trying to capture booths.
If you remember 2019 election again, 14 का तो मैंने आपको थॉरी का एग्जांपल दे दिया. उसमें प्रियंका वाड्रा की असिस्टेंट कैमरा पे है. मैं उनको डांट रही हूँ कि आप जाइए बाहर, क्या कर रही हैं आप अंदर. वो तो कैमरा पे, वो झुटलाया नहीं जा सकता. 2019 में गरीब औरत चिल्ला चिल्ला के कह रही थी कि एक बूथ पर जबरन उनका हाथ कांग्रेस के बटन पे दबाने के लिए कहा गया. शी फाइल्ड अ कंप्लेंट इन फैक्ट एंड आई ट्वीटेड अबाउट इट देन. तो ये पहली बार 2 चुनाव का खुद अनुभव है. आज आपने एक पुराने एमएलए और मेनका गांधी की इलेक्शन एरी सुन ली. हम सब गलत हो, कांग्रेस पार्टी कहेगी हम झूठ. न्यूयॉर्क तो झूठ नहीं बोलता. और राजमोहन गांधी जी जो महात्मा गांधी के और आई थिंक राजगोपालाचारी के भी ग्रैंडसन है. उनका अपना इतिहास पढ़ लीजिए. उसमें उन्होंने खुद कहा है कि कांग्रेस के गुंडों ने उन्हें मारा पीटा राजीव गांधी की शह पर और बूथ लूटा गया. तो क्या महात्मा गांधी के पोते झूठ बोल रहे हैं? न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स झूठ बोल रहा है? ये उनका घिनौना सत्य है. और वो कई लोग ये मान सकते हैं अरे राजीव जी ने किया, सोनिया जी ने किया. राहुल श्रीवास्तव जर्नलिस्ट का ये कथन कि गांधी परिवार के सिबलिंग्स ने भी किया. तो कौन सा सिबलिंग, ये पत्रकार से पूछिए ना. तो किसने ऑर्डर किया था कि स्मृति की गाड़ी पे चलो थोड़ा सा गोली वोली चला देना, थोड़ा बड़ा डर जाएगी. आई एम सेइंग दिस बिकॉज यहाँ पे बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट पे गोली चल चुकी है. संजय सिंह पे चल चुकी है यहाँ पे.
That is another episode which is the Sanjay Singh episode, after which Vishwanath Pratap Singh became prime minister.
जो अभी आपको देख रहे होंगे उनके लिए मतलब they might be a bit, they might be a bit because what happened in 19 and what happened in 14 is also history. I mean, for me to say this is happening presently, somebody has to walk through that door and shoot us right now. But I'm of the opinion that people after people have been speaking about it. Why doesn't it ever get carried? Why doesn't it get debated? Why doesn't it shock people? Why is it dismissed off? That is the power of the Gandhi family. बहुत फेमस एक फिल्म में था ना, सरकार आपकी सिस्टम हमारा.
हाँ. So do you believe 10 years down the line that system is still there? That system continues to
देखिए
operate?
आपने इस चुनाव में यहाँ पे सिविलिटी का एक उदाहरण 24 में देखा है कि आपने अपेक्षा की थी. आपने 2024 में कांग्रेस पार्टी के कम्युनिकेशन हेड को हैशटैग चलाते देखा है औकात का. एक कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर सेल्फ मेड वुमन के बारे में ये हैशटैग चलाया गया है. क्या आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते थे कि हाँ जी मैं गरीब थी, हाँ जी उसके बाद मैंने नौकरियां की, हाँ जी मैंने परिश्रम किया, सास भी कभी बहू थी किया. आई हैव हैड पीपल मेक सेक्सुअल कमेंट्स एंड स्लर्स, मारो तानाज अबाउट मी बीइंग तुलसी. हाँ जी मैंने वो सब किया. कम से कम नौकरी को तो की. प्रियंका और राहुल ने क्या नौकरी की थी? कम से कम अचीव तो किया कुछ मीडिया में. उन्होंने क्या अचीव किया? फ़र्क यह है मेरे पिताजी फेमस पॉलिटिशियन नहीं थे, उनके थे.
But then what is the difference between what a Kishori Lal Sharma, your opponent here, would say about
I believe my opponent now is Priyanka Vadra because she said I'm fighting. अब आप हिंदी हार्टलैंड में हैं. हमारे यहाँ पे लड़ाइयाँ होती हैं तो आमने सामने होती है. पर्दे के पीछे से कायर लड़ते हैं. ठीक है भाई, पर्दे के सामने से लड़ रहा था, बहन पर्दे के पीछे से लड़ रही है. यहाँ पर कैंडिडेट नहीं लड़ता, पूरा इकोसिस्टम लड़ता है.
But that should also show that it's not that
कि औकात इतनी कम नहीं है after all.
And they have not, and that they have not left. They still feel about American
I think what
why would a Rahul Gandhi
angers them, and I think particularly it angers Mrs. Vadra. What angers them is genuinely that I'm a chit of a woman. किसने कर दिया हमारे साथ ये? इसने कांग्रेस के प्रेसिडेंट को हरा दिया, इस औरत ने राहुल का पैकअप कर दिया. So I think it does smart them, not a little but a lot.
From 1 lakh losing by 1 lakh votes and then winning by 55,000
See,
votes.
even in 2014, Mulayam Singh Yadav ji is on record with another journalist,
Yes.
Prabhu Chawla,
Yeah.
where he says कि मैंने सोनिया जी के कहने पे 1 लाख वोट ट्रांसफ़र कर दिया था. If you go back, I mean now it's history, but 2014 के चुनाव में अगर आप देखें, मैं 20-22 दिन का मुझे मिला था समय कैंपेन करने का. उसमें between me and Rahul Gandhi, the difference of votes was just 1,07,000. तो अगर मुलायम सिंह यादव ने वो 1 लाख वोट ट्रांसफ़र ना किया होता तो राहुल गांधी और मेरे बीच में 7,000 वोटों का फासला रह गया था. So Rahul Gandhi, obviously, Priyanka Vadra saw the Modi charisma here. They dialed mummy, mummy dialed Mulayam Singh. They can't deny it. It's all on camera. It's all on tape.
But it's on tape, and we cannot say that it's what the late Mulayam Singh claimed, because, like
he said it.
Yeah, it's on tape. Now
Mulayam Singh ji was known to never mince words.
Up 2024 में क्या होगा?
हो गया. If there was even a semblance of victory, possibly by the Gandhi family, some member would have fought.
If they thought
that
this was happening. But
wouldn't Mrs. Vadra love to make her debut if she was so sure?
So you're still saying that you're not happy the fact that one of the Gandhi sons is not fighting.
Like I said, I couldn't care less who's fighting.
No fight.
Please understand, this is a seat which was chosen by the family because of its demography.
Yeah.
It is not demographically constituted to favor the BJP. It is demographically constituted to be a tough seat for anybody but the Congress party. So,
why would you say that? Why do you say that?
The vote bank politics that the Congress indulges in is skewed towards the Congress party. Second, I don't fight a candidate. I fight the family, and I fight the entire Congress party's ecosystem. पूरे देश में अमेठी रायबरेली छोड़कर कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कहीं भी longest serving or most so called their dynamic chief ministers कहीं प्रभारी के नाते नहीं दिए. अब रायबरेली समझ सकते, उनको डर लगता होगा. मेरी तो औकात नहीं है, तो मुझसे क्यों डर लग रहा है?
But you also have a strong ecosystem, political ecosystem behind you. The BJP Sangathan is there to back you up.
We built that Sangathan.
Yes.
And I built it from scratch. And apart from that, I think what is fascinating is जिन पार्टी के बड़े-बड़े नेताओं ने कहा मेरी औकात नहीं है, कम से कम आज इतना तो हो गया, उन्हीं को घसीट के अब नुक्कड़ सभाएं करा रही हूँ. श्रीमती वाड्रा कर तो नहीं 15-15, 20-20 लोगों की सभाएं. So what does that tell you?
Now, is that a sense of achievement or is it arrogance?
No, I think that it's a sense of being pragmatic. I have never dismissed anybody in Indian politics. Even after defeating the national president of the Congress party in 2019, I'm pragmatic enough to know that victory and loss are a part of political battles, political hardships, or political processes. I think what's smarting the Gandhi family is that it would have been possibly palatable for them if there was somebody with political pedigree. So when they started the Auqat Wala hashtag, that genuinely showed you how disturbed they have been.
So let me ask you this. In the last 10 years that you've been working here, and 5 years as an MP, I know that even after you lost in 2014, you kept some promises with the locals, the Kisan, especially the Khad Ka Rack. We know, we've spoken about it, so I have not forgotten. But this entire vote bank that you accuse the Congress of, has that vote bank even warmed up to the BJP? Because the Prime Minister spoke with Rupika in my network, and he said that, listen, I've never played this Hindu-Muslim game. I will quit public life if it is Hindu-Muslim game, and I've been tainted since Godhra, and there's a picture painted about me. But then why is it that the BJP discounts the Muslim vote?
I don't. We don't. I have 3.5 lakh Muslims living in my constituency.
So have they warmed up to you?
Like I said,
have warmed up to the BJP?
After becoming an MP, there hasn't been a single incident where any member of any community can say कि दीदी ने पक्षपात किया. Prime Minister Modi, when he serves the people, जब वो सड़क बनाते हैं, सड़क थोड़ी ना पूछती है जो चलने वाला है वो हिंदू है कि मुसलमान है. प्रधानमंत्री जब किसी के घर में बिजली डलवाते हैं, तो बिजली का तार घर रोशन करने से पहले थोड़ी ना पूछता है कौन जात हो भैया. ऐसा reporter famously asks. मुझे लगता है one has to be honest enough to recognize two things. One, nobody can accuse the Prime Minister of pakshapat when it comes to development. Second, when the Prime Minister calls out political hypocrisy, after a very studied silence is maintained, not only by polity in India, but also the media, I think he highlights a concern, especially about constitutional parameters that have been genuinely destroyed all because Congress wants to pursue vote bank policy. Because for them to set a legislative precedent is extremely dangerous. And to hoodwink people and to think that nobody will wake up to this reality, I think was genuinely politically foolish.
So he was calling out the Congress manifesto and not trying to
Not
up
only
the
that,
ante
let
because of phase
me
one
give you two
was quite tepid
examples
for the
possibly,
BJP.
and
Ji.
I don't speak for the Prime Minister. He individually speaks on his own, on his political not only decisions but also analysis. There are two things that he mentions. One is the issue of reservation. I've read holy texts and scriptures, which goes from Gita to the Quran to the Bible. The Quran doesn't speak about caste system in Islam. So under what understanding of the Islamic religion did the Congress party and the state government of Karnataka think that they can designate the entire Muslim community as a backward community? And who do they take away rights from? They take it back from the other backward communities. Now, have they done this before to the OBCs in the country? Yes. It is Prime Minister Modi who gave constitutional status to the OBC Commission. It is Prime Minister Modi who's from the OBC community who has been relentlessly abused by the Congress party. It is the Congress party that heaped abuse even on the President of India, who happens to be an Adivasi community member. They did not give respect to Ramnath Kovindji when he was President of India. So be it somebody from the Dalit community or the OBC community who rises through constitutional ranks, or the issue of reservation, the Congress has always shown apathy. And that is why when you take away a constitutionally given right of reservation and just for vote bank politics designate a whole religion as a backward caste, the Prime Minister is duty bound to call it out.
But there are Muslims who have quotas in Gujarat, Smriti ji.
Let's talk about, let's say even, no, not the entire Muslim community.
But there
That's
are certain
not
groups
that.
there.
Secondly, if you look at the Sachar Committee report, and I can speak at length on that as well, the Sachar Committee report itself is calling out the years of hardships the Muslim community had to face because of the Congress party. Because you cannot deny that there has been a sustained Congress relationship and status in politics at the center for over 5 to 6 decades. So if there was no apathy towards the Muslim community by the Congress party, would they still be challenged on issues of education, on issues of vocation or skill? No. On issues of gender justice? No. Now apart from that, if I draw your attention to the manifesto, the manifesto very surprisingly, but not so surprisingly given it's the Congress manifesto, talks about giving public work contracts to the minority community. Which means, what is public work contracts? Nobody possibly understood what that means. It means आपको सड़क बनाने का टेंडर डालना है या ब्रिज बनाने का टेंडर डालना है. Normally, what is the prerequisite for such a tender? Technical qualifications, right? Whether you're a good engineering company or not. According to the Congress manifesto now, it will not matter whether you're a great engineer or whether you have a great track record of building infrastructure. What will be priority is what religion you belong to, which is against established vigilance norms, which is against established constitutional norms.
Directive principles, it's void the directive principles.
So, if the Prime Minister calls it out, how is he to blame? And why is the Congress not in a Kadgara right now for doing this?
No, but the Congress is saying that it's being misinterpreted.
How?
It's not.
They have said very clearly in the manifesto. Show it on screen right now. How is public works contract to be given to minorities? Public work contracts cannot be predetermined for any class or section of people, institutions.
It's got to be, technical specifications, track record.
And religion is not a technical specification.
Point. But
so nobody can misinterpret. Now then the Congress party tells you wealth redistribution has been misunderstood. How? Mrs. Vadra has said, सबकी गिनती करेंगे, क्या गिनोगे? Sam Petroda was not sacked for saying that विरासत का आधा हिस्सा ले लेंगे. Sam Pitroda was sacked or let go. Why? Because he suddenly found Africans in the south of
the
India.
continental references.
And
or racial
yeah, so I
references,
mean, but doesn't that show you the kind of people who were running the Congress party?
But in the same way, when the Prime Minister says, "जिनके 5 बच्चे हैं, घुसपैठी है," and then he
Why
says
is
that
Ghuspaiti Muslim? The Prime Minister of India's priority is to safeguard the rights of India and Indians. If he says, I still remember an election, Anand, subject to correction, I was in a debate with Margaret Alva of all the people, where they wanted to protect the rights of infiltrators. I'm like, why? And I still remember that debate in Mumbai. So the Prime Minister of India says, I will not allow infiltrators in this country to take away resources from Indians. How is that wrong? He doesn't say infiltrators belong to a particular community. He says infiltrators. How are we supposed to secure the rights of people who trespass, who come in and want a certain subsection of our communities, our society, our country to be devoid of resources?
So here's the counter to that. कि जो non-Muslims हैं उनको तो आप CAA में citizenship दे दोगे?
तो फिर अफगानिस्तान पाकिस्तान में वो प्रावधान आप करिए. The issue is whoever is coming under CAA is not infiltrators. They are seeking refuge. How are you comparing infiltrators with those seeking refuge, and especially those who are being persecuted because of their religion and those who are minorities in those countries? I can understand the Congress is anti-Hindu. Why is it anti-Sikh, anti-Christian, anti-Parsi, anti-Jew? Does CAA only protect Hindus? So I can understand that Congress is anti-Hindu. Why is it anti-Sikh? Who was running for cover in Gurdwaras?
The allegation is that the BJP is anti-Muslim.
Like I said, if the persecuted person, let's say in Pakistan, happens to be a Christian, happens to be a Hindu, happens to be a Sikh, can I do something about it? Yes. The only thing I can do is constitutionally give them the refuge. That is their right.
No,
how does that make me anti-Muslim?
Okay, point taken. Now, in this case of CAA, all that went under the bridge in terms of a year-long protest, so much of noise that was made, delaying the rules notification, COVID and otherwise, multiple reasons. As we speak, about 14 to 15 people have got Nagrikta after the rules notification.
Yeah.
Overall, this base is not more than 25,000-30,000 people, if not more.
Modi is not counting votes.
No. So, what
these 25,000-30,000 people need help. It's a promise we made. Not as an individual organization, not as a polity. It is a promise that was made when this country was partitioned. That these communities will be safe across the border. It's a promise that Modi gets to keep. You rightly said these are not more than 20,000 people.
Correct.
It's a promise our country made. I have been a part of delegations, even in Parliament, of meeting. I have seen, Mulayam Singh Yadav ji's elder brother in that parliamentary delegation literally weeping. मार दिया हमको, सरहद के उस पार से आए. We were, my maiden name is Malhotra. Malhotra's, Khanna's, Kapoor's from Pakistan who came by foot. Those who came by train died. Janakpuri refugee camp, you're going back to Delhi, please go and ask people who've been a part of those camps.
We've coming to the fag end, so last 3-4 questions I'll keep, and let's look at the current scenario. After 4 phases, we are on the cusp of the 5th phase.
Yes.
How do you see the party's fortunes? There are 2 claims. There are 2 groups. One is looking at the entire Satta Bazaar, which came down from 350. Now it's somewhere hovering around 290.
मोदी सत्ता में नहीं, सेवा में विश्वास करते हैं. ठीक है, let's be practical.
मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, 400 पार बहुत ज़्यादा आपने बेंचमार्क पीएम में बहुत ऊपर तो सेट
जो पार्टी 2 सीटों पे थी, आज 400 पार का नारा दे रही है. That is the prowess of the संगठन.
बट फिर 330 आया तो अरे देखो 70 कम आए आपके.
देखिए, एक राजनीतिक दल के लिए एक बेंचमार्क होता है जो उसका नेतृत्व सेट करता है. नरेंद्र मोदी ने वो बेंचमार्क एज अ गवर्नेंस एजेंडा सेट कर दिया है. नरेंद्र मोदी ने वो बेंचमार्क एज अ संगठन पर्सन सेट कर दिया है। हम कार्यकर्ताओं का ये अब ध्येय है, हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, हम उस लक्ष्य तक पहुँचे। उस लक्ष्य तक पहुँचने का सबसे बड़ा संकेत आपको अमेठी से मिल गया है। इस सीट ने कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष को हराया और ये भारत के इतिहास में कभी नहीं हुआ। यहाँ पर आपने खौफनाक कहानियाँ सुनी, जहाँ पर गांधी परिवार ने अपनी बहू को नहीं छोड़ा, हमने वहाँ पर स्क्रैच से अपने संगठन को बनाया। ठीक, जहाँ के किस्से सुनाने की पत्रकारों में हिम्मत नहीं होती, वहाँ आज एक पत्रकार मुझसे बात कर रहा है बेखौफ, क्योंकि यहाँ पर मोदी और योगी का राज है। और आप कल अगर सुबह हैं तो जगदीशपुर नाम की एक जगह पर जाइए, बिना किसी बीजेपी वाले के जाइए वहाँ पर। 2016 में राहुल जी जब यहाँ पर सांसद थे और जब यहाँ सपा की सरकार थी, जगदीशपुर में अगर कोई भागवत की कथा करना चाहता तो उसकी पूरी कथा को तहस नहस कर देते थे कांग्रेस के गुंडे। नाम गुंडे का नईम, जो सपा में गया, वहाँ पर शायद उपाध्यक्ष है। ठीक, मैं नाम से बता रही हूँ आज आपको, तो आप नईम का नाम सुन ले, पूछवा लीजिए कल जाके। जगदीशपुर में बाजार शुक्ल नाम की जगह है, पूछ लीजिए। हनुमान जी की मंदिर में से मूर्ति निकालकर तालाब में ढा दी। 2016 की बात कर रही,
16 में।
जी, सपा का राज था।
Never got spoken about. Never got
No,
talked about.
and I'm telling you today, go tomorrow. नाम पूछ लीजिए नईम, 2016 का इंसिडेंट्स है कि नहीं, पूछ लीजिए, आपको बता देंगे। सांसद कौन? राहुल गांधी। आप मुझे कह रहे हैं राहुल गांधी इतने बेखबर थे, और श्रीमती वाड्रा जो आज नुक्कड़ नुक्कड़ घूम रही हैं, उनको पता नहीं था। नईम उनकी पार्टी का न सिर्फ सदस्य था बल्कि पदाधिकारी था, सपा में है, उन्हें नहीं पता था। 24 केस हैं उसके ऊपर। तो आप एक मतलब एक ऐसी जगह पे आए जहाँ पर वो लोगों को खौफजदा करके अपना चुनाव लड़ते थे, प्यार से नहीं। प्यार वाला जो ढगौसला करते हैं दिल्ली की मीडिया को दिखाने के लिए, इतना प्यार होता तो यहाँ 16 लाख लोग खुले में शौच कर रहे होते। 4 लाख परिवारों के लिए मोदी सरकार ने शौचालय पिछले 5 साल में बनवाया। ठीक, अगर आप एक परिवार में 4 लोग भी सदस्य गिनते हैं, इसका मतलब 16 लाख लोग, जहाँ की आबादी 23 लाख की है या 24 लाख की मान लीजिए, अब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 16 लाख लोग वहाँ खुले में शौच करते हैं। ये उनकी मोहब्बत है। आज मोदी सरकार इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में 19 लाख लोगों को मुफ्त का राशन देती है। आनंद, इतना ये लोग गरीबी हटाओ का नारा देते रहे इतने साल, यहाँ 19 लाख लोगों को राशन देने की जरूरत क्यों आन पड़ी? बाकी सारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी छोड़ दीजिए, यहाँ तो उनका 50 साल राज रहा है।
Correct.
फिर
You have to, as very objectively, contrast Amethi Raebareli under 5 decades of the Gandhi bastion and Varanasi 10 years under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
I am
So
saying
there is
that forget contrasting it with Banaras or with Raebareli. Just contrast 5 years of Smriti Irani versus 15 years of Rahul Gandhi. Smriti Irani की औकात तो नहीं है। मेरे पिताजी की तो सरकार नहीं चल रही केंद्र में, मेरे नेता की सरकार चल रही है। ठीक, नहीं मेरे पिताजी की सरकार या दोस्त की सरकार चल रही है प्रदेश में, मेरे संगठन की सरकार चल रही है प्रदेश में। राहुल गांधी की तो माताजी की सरकार थी प्रदेश में और देश में। फिर क्यों नहीं किया काम?
That is a question for the Amethi Vasis, and it's a fair
No,
question.
I'm saying that this is a testimony to their potential, their prowess, their agenda, their idea of governance.
But you think the voter understands this?
नीति
Across in Maharashtra?
देखिए, नीति, you wanted the entire country to become one Amethi?
Well, I'm asking you, voter understands this in
Thank
the
God
48
they just
seats
had a
of
limited
Maharashtra,
number of
voter
family
understands this.
members. Thank God genuinely they had a limited number of family members. Their whole agenda of politics is to keep people poor, so that गरीब रहेगा तो हमेशा dependent रहेगा. Modi's politics is about aspiration, that you're good today, do better tomorrow. And now today, 10 years in Amethi, I realize why they kept people poor. गरीब रहेगा तो हमेशा हाथ फैलाता रहेगा. जो हाथ बदलेगा, हालात बोल रहे हैं ना, उनके हालात बदलने की बात हो रही है. जब तक हाथ गरीब नहीं फैलाएगा तब तक कांग्रेस के हालात नहीं बदलेंगे. और मोदी एक व्यक्ति है जिसने 25 करोड़ लोगों को गरीबी से निकाला ताकि उनको हाथ फैलाना नहीं पड़े.
The talk within the India alliance has come forth of
What
June.
alliance?
Modi is gone.
What alliance?
They are coming to power.
अरे but what alliance?
They say they are all
Who's
together. They are
where?
fighting separately, but they are all together.
Where?
It
Why
was a
not
joint
again?
this joint
Why
press
not
conference
is the
of
beast? No,
joint
like I
press
said,
conference
forget the
of
joint press
Akhilesh
conference.
Yadav
Let
and,
me get.
this
Let
one,
me
yeah.
just tell you. Wayanad is the biggest example of what their alliance is all about. Who was fighting against whom? I can understand we were fighting the Congress party. Who else was fighting there?
Annie Raja.
Who is that?
Left leader, yeah. Left leader, yeah.
So I said, Delhi mein hugging, Kerala mein cribbing and begging. What happened with Trinamool Congress? What did Mamata Bandyopadhyay say? That if Rahul Gandhi becomes the face of the alliance, they are doomed.
Yeah.
Correct? Does that sound like a happy alliance to you? In Western UP, in the first phase, they come one day before the vote is cast to do a press conference. Is that politics? Today they meet together to do a press conference and cannot tell the people of our country after 4 phases are over who's their prime ministerial candidate.
Akhilesh did not answer that question. It was asked.
And did Mr.
But
Kharge
Congress is
answer?
saying. No, Congress
But
is
Mr.
saying.
Kharge was there. The national president of the Congress party was there. He could have answered on behalf of the Gandhi family. Why didn't he?
Yeah, but in
Can you
Raebareli, it's
imagine
being
the
saying कि
shame?
MP को नहीं PM को वोट करो.
वही तो कह रही हूँ ये arrogance जो है ना that's nothing but a camouflage for the shame they feel that Rahul Gandhi is their leader and they're stuck with a Priyanka Vadra and a blabbering Jijaji.
So what do you see happening on the 4th of June?
Modi becoming prime minister again.
With 400 par? Is
Yeah.
that?
Please recognize the prime minister has had enough political experience, has done enough work on the ground to profess a number that he is professing.
So it's not hubris. It's not just to create and just shift the goalpost
Remember,
altogether
they
from
said
272
300
to 400.
Remember in 19 they said 300 par.
Then the next day they said 330. Now it's become 400.
But like I said, but they said 300 par.
Yeah.
Did we become 300 par?
Yes. Smriti ji, thank you very, very much. All the very, very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.